Hello, I'm Dan Rather. Welcome to the CBS Evening News online edition. Just ahead, the flu vaccine. Will those who need it be able to get it? If so, where? Also, the estate tax. Some call it the death tax. Should it stay or should it go? Where the candidates stand in the CBS series, What Does It Mean to You? This is something you'll see only on our broadcast. And rock crawling. We'll give you a look at this gravity-defying new motorsport. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News online edition. The U.S. government said today the recent loss of half the nation's flu vaccine due to possible contamination means the rest of the supply will essentially be rationed. High-risk groups go to the top of the list. That's good news for some, bad news for others. CBS News medical correspondent Elizabeth Callahan gives you the inside story.
A small supply of flu vaccine drew an anxious crowd to this Los Angeles area drugstore today.
I came early, I came prepared, I came with a little stool.
Dozens of elderly people, some quite frail, lined up in the hot sun for hours just to get a shot at getting a shot.
We called 3 doctors. All are out.
The scene is being played out across the country.
We're going to take 100 of you into the store right now.
As the nation grapples with a major flu vaccine shortage, and the handful of places that actually have it are getting mobbed by people who want it.
Right now there are gaps in all regions of the country.
To impose order on potential chaos, the Centers for Disease Control today announced a plan to make sure vaccine only gets in the hands of those who really need it.
The overall goal of this is to target the vaccine that we do have to the people who will get the most benefit.
Vaccine manufacturer Aventis Pasteur has agreed to ship its remaining 22.4 million doses only to pediatricians, nursing homes, and hospitals. There are also 2 million doses of the nasal spray vaccine available, but since it's made with a weakened live virus, it can only be given to healthy people aged 5 to 50. But finding the public clinics that distribute any vaccine is going to get harder and harder. Even websites like this one, run by the American Lung Association, will stop listing vaccination sites this weekend.
We're all going to have to hustle a little bit to find it for ourselves and our family members.
There's no question that finding the flu vaccine this season is going to involve a little ingenuity and a lot of uncertainty. Doctors say the only certainty we do face is that the flu will be here soon. Elizabeth Callahan, CBS News, New York.
This election season, CBS's Eye on America is giving you a look at some of the key issues. Tonight, inheritance taxes, what some call the death tax. When someone dies, the value of the estate over $1.5 million may be subject to a federal tax. CBS's Lee Cowan looks at the impact of this tax and what, if anything, the candidates would do about it. In the special series, What Does It Mean to You?
Come on.
Even at age 75, there's one thing farmers like Joe Lyon don't talk about: death. Whether it's their crops, their cattle, or themselves. Around here, that's just bad luck.
We're all optimists and think we'll never die, so you keep putting that off.
But that's hard to do when both sides in this political campaign keep talking about the death tax. Money Uncle Sam can skim off the family farm or a small business after you're no longer part of the tax base. At least the living part. Opponents, though, call that unethical. Even though the estate tax brought in $23 billion last year, it was money gained, critics say, by taking it from those who simply lived the American dream.
It's an immoral tax because on the one hand we say, work hard, save your money. On the other hand, we say, we'll take it away.
The president insists the impact of the tax will eventually hit people like Joe Lyon the hardest, forcing them to sell their land or livestock in order to pay the bill.
The death tax is bad for rural America, and Congress needs to make it extinct forever.
It's being billed as tax relief for family farmers. Problem is, family farmers aren't the ones paying this tax. In fact, in 2002, less than 4% of the people who died owed any estate tax at all, and only a tiny fraction of those were farmers. The overwhelming majority was paid by the wealthiest people in the country.
I have never seen a farm business that had to be sold to pay federal estate tax.
So why is that argument used so often?
It spins well.
Indeed it does, but John Kerry has spun it too, the other way, arguing the president's plan to get rid of the estate tax is simply a break for the rich.
When tax cuts for the wealthiest are your only priority, You don't have anything left for the middle class of America.
Kerry would keep the estate tax, but raise the exemptions high enough so that only the rich would pay. But critics charge that, too, is problematic. Those with the means will likely shelter most of their wealth and, in the end, get out of paying anyway. Which makes the death tax a difficult campaign issue, especially for people like Joe Lyon.
I just happen to think that they're wrong. I just don't think it's that big a deal. I've got other things that concern me more.
Like the cost of prescription drugs and long-term health care. Bigger threats to the family farm, he says, than the Grim Reaper with a tax bill. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, this is Lee Cowan for Eye on America.
Millions of Americans drive them brawny four-wheel drive SUVs that look tough enough to take on the toughest trail, but rarely face anything tougher than a steep driveway. So where do real off-roaders go for a hard rock challenge? As CBS's Mark Strassman reports, the answer is straight up.
See that buggy? The one with tires like Barry Bonds' biceps? Behind the wheel is Rob Steffi.
That's right.
On weekends, this Pittsburgh cop mocks the laws of gravity, driving in America's latest motorsport craze, rock crawling. It's part NASCAR, part demolition derby. And when the rock goes straight up or straight down, gravity frowns on driver error.
I'm shocked myself at some of the climbs I've actually made, saying, how did I do that?
A good spotter helps. Avoid hitting the cones and losing points, and lowest score wins. Competitors compare a rock crawl to a roller coaster.
Except you're the one driving the roller coaster, and you're the one who decides whether it stays on the track or it doesn't.
And often, it doesn't.
It's daring, it's dangerous, and it's exciting.
It's an extreme sport in a number of ways, including its wild growth. Rock crawling is now America's fastest-growing motorsport.
One reason? Fans get so close they can smell the mayhem.
One redneck told another redneck, and then 10 more people came out. We try to send them up obstacles that most of us, even healthy and young and dumb, can't climb on foot and hand.
As Rob Steffi learned, many climbs require a certain hard-headed perseverance. This was Steffi's view of the rollover, from inside his buggy. He was dazed, but fine.
All right.
A solid hit is what the sport has become in this battle of man versus mountain. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Attica, Indiana.
More stories are just a click away, but don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Wednesday's broadcast, an injection that dissolves fat, that's the claim, but does it actually work? Before you make an appointment, better see our investigation. For CBSNews.com, I'm Dan Rather.